going on, everybody? This is Joe, and I am back with another Strixhaven School of Mages pre-release pack opening. We have done 5 of these already, so hopefully you've seen some. If not, you can check the top corner there, where I will have a playlist linked for you. I forgot to start this beforehand. That's fine. I'll have a playlist linked for you so you can watch the first 5 if you're interested in doing so. And so, since there are 5 colleges and we've done 5 videos, we are back to where we started at week 1 with a second Quandrix pre-release pack opening. And another reason why I am here by myself this time, because Amy is definitely outspoken as not being a Quandrix. And yet I am very much a Quandrix. There we go. You zoomed in. Okay. Or you focused, I should say. So we will put this, I guess, on this side now. It's going to be awkward. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. And then we can quickly show off what's in here. If you missed the other openings, this is basically what we showed in that as well. We have the little Quandrix add-in. We have the divider as well, with the Quandrix symbol on the back, or on it, to divide your deck and your sideboard and stuff. We have the packs, including the seeded pack, which we'll open in just a moment. And we have our promo foil rare, which is in this package, along with a code to MTG Arena as the other thing in this package. And so let's go ahead and open that up. Okay. And so my promo foil rare is a Prismari Command, which 1 is a great card, but 2 is gorgeous. Look at that in foil. Holy crap, that looks good. Wow. Gorgeous. Plus, if we go anywhere near red with this deck, because we are already likely going to do blue with Quandrix, we would absolutely put this card in because it's very good and very splashable. And then, as I said, the code for MTG Arena, which we will give away at some point in this video, so stay tuned. All right, so we have our seeded pack. If you're unfamiliar with what this is, Wizards, because this is specifically a Quandrix kit, or anytime that you have a specific color-based kit, Wizards gives you a seeded pack, which means it's a pack full of cards that would only be able to go into a Quandrix deck. Or, sorry, I guess I should rephrase. That they would be able to go in a deck that was only playing blue and green. So, it's blue cards, green cards, colorless, and then lands that make those 2 colors. So we have a Quandrix Pledge Mage to start. We have a Quandrix Campus as well. A Fractal Summoning for the lesson that summons the individual mascot for the Quandrix College. Then we have the Vortex Runner. I don't know why I wasn't able to speak there for a moment, but we got there. We have a Reject. A Leyline Invocation, which is insane art and pretty good for leading us towards the fractal route of things. A Eureka Moment, which is a very good card. An Environmental Sciences, which is a very good lesson. So if we have enough learn cards, we would definitely put this in because, or sorry, we would definitely keep this in the sideboard, but put in learn cards so that we could get this lesson. We have a Biomathematician, which helps out with our fractals that it looks like we're getting a good number of so far. We have Team Pennant. This card, if we're making fractals, right, it would give any of our fractals for 1 mana, +1/+1, and Vigilance and Trample. So we could move this all around. If we don't have creature tokens, or at least a pretty solid way of making creature tokens, this card would not be that great. A 3 mana equipment is not the best, but to put this on creature tokens, this would be great. We have a Quandrix Apprentice, which is a good card. I like that. And a Divide by 0, which is pretty good as well. So here's one of our learn cards. So that's a way to get Fractal Summoning or Environmental Sciences, and maybe if we get more lesson cards later, who knows. And our rare or mythic in this pack is a Dragon's Guard Elite. Very, very good card. Very good. This card is real tough to play against. I mean, if you have removal, I guess not. But, yeah, being able to put +1/+1 counters on it, doubling the counters on it, adding counters from other sources and stuff, very, very good, this Dragon's Guard Elite. Behind it, we have our tokens in an elemental token on one side, as well as a fractal token on the other, because these are the tokens that you would be able to make with the summonings, because you can play the pest summoning for double green, which means you could play it in this deck. You can make the elemental that we just saw with double blue, because that's one half of the colors. And then, of course, the fractals are green and blue, so you could play them with any color. And then we have one of the stand-in cards for a modal double-faced card. We have a Dina pack. Inside, we start with, oh man, just the best card in the set. In Excavated Wall. I really don't like this card. We have a Rise of Exodus. I really do like this card. Unfortunately, not really for a Quandrix deck, but, you know, still. Exhilarating Elocution, also not for a Quandrix deck. Soothsayer Adept is a fine card. I don't love this one, but it's a 1/3, which is a fine blocker, as well as the ability to loot, so I would put that in. Illustrious Historian. A Field Trip is a great card, 100%. Love it. Hunt for Specimens. A Star Pupil. Serpentine Curve. Yup, we got fractals. Elemental Summoning. It is a fine lesson. We will know if we have double blue. And so keeping that in the sideboard, especially now that we just got like a Field Trip, so we know that we have at least some learn available. Golden Ratio, very nice open as our first uncommon. Very, very nice. Should get in. Karok Wrangler also should get in. Awesome. And a Shadewing Laureate, almost certainly not, although a fine card, obviously. And so our next rare or mythic is... Yes, oh my god, yes, it's the dream. No way. In the Quandrix kit, we get Quandrix, Tanazir Quandrix, the legendary Elder Dragon for Quandrix, for the college. That is incredible. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I would put as many of these as I opened in. Wow. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see what our Mystical Archive is. How sick is this pack? Okay. I mean, it's a good card. It is a negate. The art is really cool. I would probably put it in. I'm not a huge counterspell guy, but it is counter target non-creature spell. It's 2 mana instant speed. So like, because of course it's counterspell. And I mean, with Magecraft in this set, with Prismari as a college that you could fight against, this is definitely something. And like, look, with learn cards or lessons, this is definitely a card that you could see some things coming. You know if they've put a lesson into their hand. So yeah, this could definitely get in. And then behind it, another pest token. Not bad. Oh my god. I'm like super happy. Okay. Let's keep going. We have a Quintorius pack for Lorehold, which is the college that gets no love in this particular opening because, you know, not for this one. Although, you know what does get love? Things that say Quandrix on them. Quandrix Pledge Mage, hell yeah. Make Your Mark, again, probably not. A Stonebound Mentor. Tome Shredder. Well, this is a very Lorehold heavy pack besides that first card. Thank you, Reckless Amplimancer. Appreciate that. Mage Hunter's Onslaught. This is a good card. Probably not going to get in, but it's a good card. Star Pupil. Another Serpentine Curve. A Pest Summoning can absolutely be played for double green. So same thing that I said about Elemental Summoning earlier. Absolutely goes for this one as well. Access Tunnel is our first uncommon. I would keep track of how many creatures with power 3 or less we have. Obviously with a lot of fractals, this would not be great just because we would want our fractals ideally to be higher than a 3/3 or at least a 3x. But still, we would keep track of that in terms of whether we would put this in, because if we're only 2 colors, if we're not splashing a third, this would be a fine include. We have Flunk, which is a good card. We've gotten some decent black, I won't lie. So I know that we got that Prismari command, but we've gotten some decent black as well if we wanted to lean a little bit towards Witherbloom, but I don't think we have to yet. And we have a Silver Quill Apprentice, which means our next rare or mythic is Accomplished Alchemist absolutely can make it in very nice. Hey, if we do end up needing or wanting to splash, not that this is the only splash that we could have, but it does count towards it, because it is add 1 mana of any color if you tap it, or add X of any color, where X is the amount of life that you gain this turn. So like really nice to be able to use that to help us with a splash. Plus it's a 2/5, so again, more on defense than offense, but still a good card nonetheless. Our Mystical Archive is... Wow. We're getting very lucky with cards that we need in our colors. I will absolutely put a Snakeskin Veil in. I actually really like this card a lot. Probably more than most, to be honest. But we've used this to quite good effect. Plus, there is the +1/+1 counter theme that we're working on here. You know, I know it's more in Silverquill, but still... I mean, this gives counters, and we have things with counters and Dragon's Guard elites and fractals, etc. So this is another way of making that work. Plus, the giving something hexproof always feels good when they, like, you know, spend a bunch of mana to play a big spell to target one of your things, and you're able to save it. So I think we have a foil as well. We do. Oh my goodness. What did I say about getting lucky? This is awesome. Wow, that's actually a sick-looking foil, too. Especially because of this, like, you know, stuff in the foreground here. Wow. Hell yeah. Yes, please. I love that. What a sick foil. And it's a Quandrix Apprentice, which is a sweet uncommon for the Quandrix deck. So, yes, please. Very, very happy with that. Amazing. Look at that foiling pattern. Look at it. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And again, besides that, it's also very playable, which is a good thing to be aware of and keep track of. We also have an elemental token behind it. So yeah, pests, elementals, sure, I'll keep it. We have a Zimone pack now. Inside, Zimone has for us a Spiteful Squad to start. I love this card, but obviously not for this deck. A Silverquill Campus. Okay, I mean, hey, the last pack started off very heavy lore hold, so this one can start off Silverquill, I guess. Yup, Owlin Shield Mage. Yeah, it really wants to. We have a Heated Debate, which is a good card, not for this deck. A Springmane Servant. I don't love this card, but it would get in, especially if we needed a creature. It's a fine body, fine creature, especially the fact that it helps you gain life. So even if we're not splashing into Witherbloom, but we still have some like green cards that care about life gain in some way, this is a great way to do that. We have a Spectre of the Fens, which would get in if we went Witherbloom, but again, I still don't see a compelling reason to do so. We have an Ageless Guardian. I don't like this card on a good day, but especially not for this deck. We have a Resculpt. I don't love this one. It probably wouldn't make it in. If we had like a lot of ways of making pests or something, and we wanted to, like, you know, turn one of our pests for 2 mana into a 4/4, then maybe, but I don't know. If I'm looking at this card to put it in the deck, it's because I'm desperate. So we have an Introduction to Annihilation, a fine lesson. It does let them draw a card because we're almost certainly using it on one of their permanents. So it would let them draw a card, but if it's something that we need to get rid of, like if they had a 10/0 Quandrix like we do, we would want to get rid of it, and using this would not be a bad way of doing it. And because it's a lesson, we would only get it if we knew that they had something that we really wanted to get rid of. So there's that. Professor of Symbology, good card, not for this deck. A Mentor's Guidance. I would play this, absolutely. There's no reason not to, even if we don't have a Planeswalker, a Cleric, a Druid, a Shaman, a Warlock, or a Wizard, although incidentally we're just gonna have that, I'm sure. In fact, just looking over here at our rares and our foil, the Dragon's Guard Elite is a Druid, the Accomplished Alchemist is a Druid, and the Quandrix Apprentice is a Wizard. So right there, those are 3 that are definitely getting in, and this works for all 3 of those, or with all 3 of those, to let us do it twice. So very, very good. And we have another Quandrix Apprentice. That is incredible. Absolutely both of them get in. Magecraft on this makes it even better. So really nice and happy to have that. And our next rare or mythic is a Dramatic Finale. Gorgeous art on this card. Absolutely gorgeous art. Notably, because we have so many... yeah, why can't I? Fractals, thank you. I've I would get there eventually. Because we have so many fractals, this would actually be kind of good, because it would give our fractals all +1/+1, but then we'd have to have quad black, and if we were playing black at all, it would be a splash at best, so this doesn't get in, but it's a sick card, and I'm happy to have opened it. Like, I'm happy I own it, just not for this particular kit. And then our Mystical Archive is oh man, wow, nicely done. A Harmonize. I think this kit and I are harmonized. I love this so very much. Draw 3 cards in green, beautiful, definitely playing it. Wow, wow, this kit is fantastic so far. Really, really nice. Behind Harmonize, I think we have another foil, and it is a Professor's Warning. You know what? Fine. Obviously can't be played in this deck. I like this card a lot in general. And that foiling pattern is fine. Lily's, like, neck thing that she's got there, and her hands in foil, and the background looks cool. Some of Will's armor as well. Rowan leaves a little bit to be desired. I mean, her shoulder piece there is nice. But otherwise, it's kind of whatever. But yeah, that's a fine foil. Not going to complain about it. And then behind that is an ad card, which again, we've been getting approximately 1 per kit, so I'm not going to complain about ad cards if it's only 1 per kit. If it's like more than that, then it's kind of frustrating. Hey, guess what? This is a code for MTG Arena. Not on this side. There's another side to it. I wanted to let you all know, as I give this code out to any of you that are able to, or the one of you that is able to snag it, I wanted to let you know that this is our way of saying thank you. Thank you for watching our stuff. We really hope you're enjoying. Please don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. We just reached the milestone of 500, and we'd like to keep going way above and beyond that so that we can keep bringing you more of the stuff that you enjoy, because hopefully you're here because you enjoy our stuff. We will have more of these. If you don't get this one, don't worry. We will have more coming up. And if you subscribe and then ring that bell, you'll get notifications as soon as those videos come out, so you will not miss out. We are also live Mondays and Fridays, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, for Magic fans, Mondays we play Arena, so if you want to be here for that, we would love to have you. And on Fridays, we do random video games. This Friday, we will be continuing Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. On stream, so we hope that you will be there to join us. Just a reminder with this code, you can only use 1 code per account on MTG Arena from a Strixhaven School of Mages pre-release pack. So if you've already used one, this one will not work for you. Don't waste your time. And if you get this, hey, shout it out in the comments. Let your fellow viewers know. Let us know that you got it, and we hope you get something good. Thank you once again for watching. Don't forget, we've got 2 packs left to go. And the first pack is a Killian Pack. With, again, we've opened some interesting Silver Quill stuff. Still love how this card looks. Really nicely done for that Secret Lair advertisement. We have a Biblioplex Assistant. I'm typically saying that there's very little chance I would play this card in a deck, and I think that continues here. We have a Relic Sloth. We have an Infuse with Vitality. A Eureka Moment. Very nice. Absolutely gets in. First Day of Class. Professor of Zoomancy definitely gets in as well. Definitely going to play that. Unwilling Ingredient. Guiding Voice. A Waterfall Aerialist also definitely gets in. A 3/1 with Flying for 4, and it has Ward 2. Definitely playable. And Environmental Sciences. Happy to have it as a lesson. Definitely nice to have. A Detention Vortex. Not happy to have it, but it wouldn't have been something that I would have considered putting in this deck anyway, and it's a bad card, so there's that. That's our first uncommon. We have a Witherbloom Apprentice as our second. If we are splashing black, we're still, I mean, again, we have this pack and 1 more pack. I don't know how we would, because even if we open Blot Out the Sky, which is my favorite card in the set, probably, that would also require white, so we can't even splash for that. But yeah, Witherbloom Apprentice probably not getting in. And an Igneous Inspiration, which is also probably not getting in, which means our next rare or mythic is Uvilda, Dean of Perfection, and on the other side is Nasari. I guess I'll flip it up here so we don't give away what's behind it. Nasari, Dean of Expression. Now, notably for this deck, Nasari probably doesn't make it, especially because it's double red. We can just play the Uvilda side if we're playing it at all. I don't even remember what Uvilda does. You can tap Uvilda, exile an instant or a sorcery from your hand, and put 3 hone counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it's exiled, remove a hone counter from it. When the last hone counter is removed, if it was exiled, you may cast it. It costs 4 less. So, yeah, probably not. This is definitely much more a Prismari card, obviously, because it wants you to be able to... It wants to help you play your expensive cards, and we don't have a lot of those, especially in spell form. So yeah, even though this is a rare in our colors, arguably, it probably does not get in, which is fine. Like, we still have plenty of things that we could play. So yeah, Uvilda and Nasari are probably a no, but still fun to have. And then behind that, our Mystical Archive is a Defiant Strike, which is a fine card. I don't love it. It's definitely not for this deck, but it's a fine card. And it's really sick art, because all the Mystical Archives are. So it's nice to have regardless. And behind that is a Spirit token. So great. We have one more pack to go. Speaking of Prismari, huh? It has Rutha on it. Inside of our final pack, we have what? Well, again, speaking of Prismari, we have Ogiar Battleseer. We have a Quandrix Campus. Hell yes. I will definitely play more than one of these. Teach by example. Again, even though it could be played as double blue, I have not seen instants and sorceries yet that are, like, super strong. I mean, maybe Harmonize, but, like, that's 6 mana then to draw 6 cards. So maybe late game, but, like, that's a 2-card combo, so it's probably a no. Illustrious Historian, Leyline Invocation, okay, lots of fractals, huh? Lash of Malice, a Study Break, which is a good card now for this deck. Reject, I would probably play this, especially if I was hurting for, you know, like if I'm getting up to like 20 cards and thinking about stuff, I would put this in. We already have the Negate, right? So we could play some counterspells in this deck too. An Enthusiastic Study, an Expanded Anatomy. We're getting some good lessons. Some good lessons. Ardent Dust Speaker is our first uncommon. Symmetry Sage is not bad. I think it's fine. I'm not like over the moon about it, but I would definitely play it. And that's our first uncommon, or sorry, our second uncommon, but our first one in this pack that we would use. And a Quintorius. Again, definitely not for this kit and for this deck, but a very, very good card, especially if you're going Lorehold, which means our last rare or mythic non-mystical archive is another Accomplished Alchemist. They are not legendary, so you could play both at the same time. I would. It's not like the most incredible thing in the world, but I would absolutely play it. I mean, that with the Dragon's Guard Elite, with the Quandrix, like, this is a fine, fine card, and I'm happy to have 2. And our last Mystical Archive card is a Gift of States. So it's white. It's definitely not for this. Gorgeous art. My God, I love that. Wow. Very, very pretty. And then our final token is another Elemental. I am very, very pleased with this opening. Like, I am very pleased. I think we did really well. I think this deck would have been sick to have played on the day. I hope you all agree. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Would you just make the obvious Quandrix deck? Because I definitely would. The Harmonize in there, the Quandrix, the Tanazir Quandrix, the Dragon's Guard Elite, both Accomplished Alchemists. Like, the deck kind of makes itself, right? We got 2 Quandrix Apprentices, 1 in foil. We got the Snakeskin Veil, the Negate, and a lot of other really good stuff. The Eureka Moments and the even the Golden Ratio, which, you know, sometimes you draw, like, you're looking at drawing 1 or 2 cards, which is not the best thing in the world, but hell, I would do it. It triggers our Magecraft and stuff. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching all of our videos. We really do appreciate it. Check out our other channels as well down in the description box below. We're doing some awesome stuff over on Video Games for All. And I'm hopeful that you are all enjoying that. If you have not checked it out, I'm pretty confident that you will find something to enjoy. So thank you all so very much. And for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe. And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.